Jai Shri Krishna. Today is May 18, 2026, and it's a Monday, and moon is in Mrigashira Nakshatra, right? Anywhere between Taurus, and it's a broken nakshatra, so it's going towards Gemini. All right. So, this is part one of Moon in Mrigashira Nakshatra. All right. So, do subscribe to the channel and do please share your comments as well, right? So that, it will help all of us, including myself, for your feedback. I do also teach free classes in Clubhouse every week, Wednesday around 7:20, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And if you're interested in Vedic Astrology, download the Clubhouse app. And, the club is called Vedic Astrology Club. You can join live sessions on Wednesday, 7:20, 7:30 p.m. Central, or you can come and browse the archives and listen to all the past recorded sessions. For the last 3-4 years, there has been recordings. Yeah. And if you're interested in Vedic astrology, you've got a lot of information in Clubhouse, what I've done in the last few years. So as we start today, okay, moon is in Mrigashira Nakshatra. It's a broken nakshatra, 2 padas, right? The 2 padas are in Taurus. Okay, so it starts around 23 20, right, degrees it starts, and 2 padas are in Taurus, and ends in 6 degrees 40 minutes in Mithuna. So in a way, the nakshatra is broken. Okay, so the nakshatra has the duality, right? It's broken. It's exactly broken into half. All Mars nakshatras are broken exactly into half. Now, the thing is, the minute it goes into Gemini, which is a dual Rashi, so typically people, with Mrigashira Nakshatra, Mithuna Rashi are more dual, display dual characteristics versus, moon in Mrigashira Nakshatra in Taurus Rashi. Okay? Because of the duality nature of Gemini. All right. So this is one thing, it's kind of little different, yeah, between the 2 Rashis here. Now, I will tell you, end of the day, year 2004 would have been different for you. If you are born with moon in Mrigashira Nakshatra, it doesn't matter if it is Rishabha Rashi or Mithuna Rashi. Please share that in the comment section as well. Okay, 2004. All right. Okay. Now, this is the 5th nakshatra in Kalpurush as we start from Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrigashira. Okay. All right. It's a Mars-owned nakshatra. All right. Now, what is important is it's just not a Mars-owned nakshatra. It is a Mula Trikona nakshatra of Mars. It's a favorite nakshatra of Mars. Okay. Now, there is a fine trait or characteristics, difference between the Mars nakshatra of Mrigashira in Taurus to Gemini. In Taurus, it's more like soft, pleasant, nurturing energy you will see. In Gemini, right, it's more like street smartness, calculative, little bit of that aggressive or irritativeness you will also see, and the duality, like the first time doesn't work, second time will work, that you will see for them. Okay. Now, the karma nakshatras, in a way, for people born with moon in Mrigashira, or the other Mars nakshatras, which is Chitra, right, and Dhanishta. Okay, then the next one followed is moon immediately. Okay, and I'll explain that later why. So moon nakshatra is Rohini, then you have Hasta and Shravana. Mercury nakshatras. Okay, so you start from Ashlesha, okay, Jyeshta and Revati. Then Jupiter nakshatras, Punarvasu, Visakha, Purabhadrapada. Sun nakshatras. All right, so sun nakshatras will be Kritika. Then you have Uttara Falguni and Uttara Shada. And then last is Ketu nakshatras, Ashwini Magha Mula. Okay. Now, there is a very interesting connection and relationship with Mrigashira with both Rohini and Jyeshta. Rohini and Jyeshta, there's a very interesting relationship. Okay, and I'll explain why. With Rohini, okay, it is exactly pairing with Rohini. So after Rohini, you have Mrigashira. Okay, and with Jyeshta also, why? Because it's kind of almost opposite to Jyeshta also. Rohini is opposite to Jyeshta. Mrigashira is also kind of opposite to Jyeshta. The two padas, first two padas, okay? But it's more than that. So Rohini Nakshatra, if you look at it, it's Moon's Mulatrikona Nakshatra, Moon's favorite Nakshatra, okay? Who is the deity? The Vedic deity is Brahma Prajapati, Brahma, okay? Now Mrigashira is Mars Mulatrikona Nakshatra. And who is the Vedic deity here is also is Soma here, Chandra here, right? So you can see the connection. Okay, you can see the connection. Now there is also a connection, and there is also a Brahma story here about chasing Rohini, which I will try to do that in part 2. Okay, there is a strong Brahma story here. Okay, all right. Next is, there is also a very deep, strong connection between Mrigashira, right, to Jyeshta. Okay. Now Mrigashira, again, it's if you look at it, is a Mars nakshatra, but Moon is the deity, Vedic deity. And if you look at it, Jyeshta, Indra is the Vedic deity. Okay, all right. Now you see the connection between Soma, who is Mrigashira's Vedic deity. And if you understand in the Vedic Puranas, including Rig Veda, right, they say that the king of the gods originally was Varuna, toppled later by Indra. Okay, Indra comes into position. Now Indra, whenever there is a issue of power or position, he will always call Varuna, Vayu and Agni. Varuna, Vayu and Agni. And you can see examples, right? Look at Vishwamitra to disrupt his penance as Kausika Rishi. Vayu, Varuna and Agni was sent. When Mahabali with Shukracharya went to do the Ashwamedha Yajna with his son Virochana, Namichi, Bana, whatever is his name, it's all different names, right? Immediately Indra sent Varuna, Vayu and Agni. Of course, he also sends for Vishwamitra, Menaka, right? Tilotama, on all of them as well, okay? But in a way, he uses Varuna, Vayu and Agni. What you clearly see is Soma is not in the picture, right? Why Soma is not in the picture is for Indra, the prana, or the think of the way stamina for him, right? Soma has his stamina, okay? He entirely depends on Soma, okay? Even the mental alertness, including the immortality, like the Somras also, right? So you see there is a very strong symbolic connection, right? Indra, right, with Mrigashira Nakshatra. Okay, Indra, right, which is kind of the Jyeshta energy in a way, right? They also are a seeker of similar energy, the divine nectar, right, which actually helped Indra to sustain his power. That's where the Samudra Manthan story also comes, where the Amrit or the Somras and all comes in. Okay, so you can see the whole interesting part connection between Mrigashira Nakshatra and Indra also here, right? The Soma and Indra connection. All right. The people who are born with in Moon in Mrigashira Nakshatra, there is always a constant search for something, right? It can be on a day-to-day basis. They would have the glasses, right? And it could be just in the pocket or in the hand, but they will be searching for it everywhere. Okay, it could be with them only, right? They could be searching for the pen and a book, for example. They're always into searching for something. Okay, it can be, right, what to study if they're a student, or what to study, which college to study, right, which job to take, what is the career, what is the marriage, the child, the home, etc. The difference is for Moon in Mrigashira in Taurus, it will happen a little bit faster, including it can happen a first time, but it can also not happen, or it can be a karmic baggage. But for Moon in Mrigashira, right, which is in Gemini Rashi, most of the things will happen the second time rather than the first time. Okay. Now, the search is also happening because the story of the deer head is coming here. Deer head. Okay. And it is the Brahma chasing the Rohini story, which I will also connect in the part 2 part. But of the Mrigashira Nakshatra part. The important thing is the number is 4 associated with this nakshatra. Okay. This nakshatra also, there is an energy of pot full of somras. So if you see the picture in this video, the front picture, right, the cover picture, there will be a pot overflowing. That is somras. Somras. Yeah. So these people definitely show signs of timidity, lightness, fragility. They're very fragile, fickleness, wandering energy, moving away from stuff. And I will also cover the difference between both the nakshatras, right? The broken ones between Mithuna Rashi and Taurus Rashi, how they differ. Okay, I will cover that. There is also issues of stamina for them, right? Because the stamina typically, if you see, Indra himself gets it from the somras. So they have to look what is the somras for them. There is something about mental alertness, right? And they always have some health concerns by birth or by later, right? Because that somras is the magical part for them. Okay. There is also the story of Sita chasing that magical deer, that illusion, right? In Ramayana, right? First Rama goes and then eventually Lakshmana goes as well. Okay. There is always something searching. It is a very curious nakshatra. It can also give you a physical space of lethargy. Okay. And it's extremely dexterous in the mind. Okay. These are the people who can do sleepwalking, right? Or even in the dream, they will feel like they've gone somewhere. This is also the nakshatra which can go into, things like coma, accident and coma, those kind of things. They are the people who also want to do something like a plastic surgery on the face, right? They are very sensual and sexual as well. Okay. Now, the Saptarishi associated with this nakshatra is Pulasteya. Okay. If you know the story, Pulasteya as Brahma's Manasta Putra has come from the ear. Okay. Ear of Brahma. And if you read even Srimad Bhagavatam and everywhere, it will tell you. Okay. So, and Bhagavad Purana also. So, ear infections is something Mrigashira Nakshatra people have to watch out for. Okay. Typically, ears, eyes, and eyebrows, skin issues, more so with moon in Gemini, Mrigashira Nakshatra people, skin issues, okay, stomach issues. And the energy is either at the end of the room or at the start of the room. Okay. The animal associated is multiple animals. So first is the deer, which is a female version of the deer. Antelope, a hen, a pigeon, and there is serpent energy. So you may have any kind of objects, idols, or pictures, wallpapers, any of this energy. And you can also see a serpent energy here. Okay. Now, these people, especially, Mrigashira Nakshatra people, would enjoy like a liquid diet. Okay. Like a somras. And you saw some of the somras energy also coming in Revati Nakshatra as well. Okay. Moon is the deity here. Soma is the deity here, right? Soma is also the nectar. And that's the Vedic deity. The modern deity is Parvati is associated here. Shakti, Parvati. It is also the nakshatra of Parvati. Okay. Now, if you see the number is 4, you can pray to Soma, Om Somaya Namaha 4 times. Parvati, Om Parvati Namaha 4 times. Now, within Parvati, the main deity is Bhuvaneshwari. So, in Dasamahavidya, Bhuvaneshwari is associated with Chandra. Okay, so Bhuvaneshwari. So, in a way, it's a female deity, you can see. Saptarishi is Sage Pulasteya. And you can pray to Pulasteya, Om Pulastaya Namaha, Manini, Om Maniniye Namaha, the wife, and Havirbu. Havirbu is also another wife, Om Havirbuve Namaha. Okay, the Mrigashira Nakshatra temple, you want to go when moon is in Mrigashira. Here is the catch, and moon is with strength. Here is the catch, because it's broken. If your moon is in Taurus, you want to go at the time when moon is in Taurus, Mrigashira. If your moon is in Gemini, you want to go at the time when moon is in Gemini in Mrigashira. This is the catch, okay? The Nakshatra temple is Sri Adinarayana Perumal temple. It is in a place called Tiruvarur, Tamil Nadu, India. Sri Adinarayana Perumal temple, Tiruvarur, Tamil Nadu, India. Okay? Luck will change for you at 22 or 24, depending on if your Mrigashira Nakshatra in Taurus or Gemini. Either one will happen. 22, 24, okay? 27, 29. So you can see the duality. 22, 24, 27, 29, and 54. All right? These are the years of change of luck for you. I hope this was helpful. This was part 1 of the video. I will try to somehow upload the part 2 video by end of the day if possible. So watch out. All right. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you.